You're watching Boston Celtics Today by Chat Sports. I am your host, Harrison Graham. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you want more Boston Celtics news, rumors, plus playoff coverage, and we'll look ahead to Game 3 later on in the show after a big win in Game 2. All right, we're going to take a look at some potential offseason trades for Boston. These ideas were cooked up by Bleacher Report, so if you don't like them, blame them. And, of course, the focus is still on the playoff run. We want the Celtics to win a championship, but there's already offseason buzz out there, so we got to keep you guys, entertained on that fun. And it's fun to speculate. The NBA is as fun as it is during the season. It's even more fun in the offseason. So keep that in mind as we go through this. We're not abandoning ship. We're still talking about the playoffs. We'll look ahead to Game 3 later on in the show. But let me ask you this. Name a player that the Celtics should go out and trade for this offseason. If you think there's a guy that's the missing piece to this nucleus, which there may not be, they might win a championship this year, but there's a guy out there you would like to play with the Boston Celtics next season. Let me know in the comments. Name a player that you think Boston should go out and trade for. All right, trade idea number 1 from Bleacher Report was around Deandre Ayton, who's going to be a restricted free agent, so this would be a sign-in trade. Ayton to Boston for Robert Williams, Derek White, Aaron Nesmith. No trades at all. I'll be honest, this is actually a somewhat realistic trade in my opinion. I don't think this is that crazy of a package for a guy like Deandre Ayton, who is a very talented big. 17 and 10 this year, over 63% from the field. He can shoot the occasional three, and when he does, he shoots it fairly well. I like Deandre Ayton as a player, but some more thoughts. Number 1, losing Robert Williams after he had that breakout year this year would kind of sting. Was good on both ends. Now, let me be clear. Ayton's a better player than Robert Williams. My problem is trading Williams and Derek White. I don't care as much about Nesmith. Would I consider doing this trade? I would, because Ayton's clearly the best player, but you're developing Robert Williams. He's still improving. And Deandre Ayton, my biggest issue with him, he's not aggressive enough. He's not assertive enough. He should have been a bigger factor in that series loss to the Dallas Mavericks, and he wasn't. And the Mavericks are a small team. In Game 1, he went off for like 25 and 12, and then he disappeared for most of the rest of that series. He needs to be a guy that's more assertive. Right now, at best, he's a number 3 on a title team, which he'd be that in Boston. That's why I'm still open to this trade idea from Bleacher Report. He could be that third guy behind Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, but I don't know. There's something about Ayton that I don't love. Maybe keeping the volume of players with Rob Williams and Derek White, who you just traded for, and maybe Nesmith can start developing a little bit. Maybe that's the better route. I'd consider it. I'm not the hugest fan of DeAndre Ayton, though. Would you trade for DeAndre Ayton, the former number 1 overall pick? Type Y for yes, type N for no. I'm conflicted. You could go either way. Let me know what you guys think about that trade idea. Trade idea number 2, this one around Bradley Beal. The Bradley Beal trade rumors, they're always floating out there somewhere. Here was the trade package for this one. Again, Robert Williams and Aaron Nesmith. Multiple draft picks. I would have to think 2 firsts is probably what you're looking at. 2 firsts, Williams and Nesmith. Nesmith doesn't have much value. Robert Williams probably worth a mid-late first. So 3 firsts pretty much for Bradley Beal. Sure, you'd get the Beal-Tatum duo together. They like each other quite a bit. That's well documented. And in this case, you keep Jaylen Brown. Now, the one thing about this trade that concerns me as we look at Bradley Beal's numbers, he's obviously a fantastic player. Missed a lot of time last season with the injury, but he's a 25-point scorer, 9 in and 9 out. The one problem with this, actually 2 problems. Number 1, you're going to give up more draft capital, multiple first-round picks, so keep that in mind. But number 2, where does that leave you down low? Al Horford, who's getting closer and closer to 40 as we keep going along. I like Horford. He's had a nice little resurgence this year. He's been great in the playoffs. But Robert Williams is your front court moving forward. I mean, that's the guy. That's why the Ayton trade, you're like, okay, yeah, you're losing Williams, but you're getting Ayton, a number 1 overall pick, a really talented player who can be a 20 and 10 guy in this league. Bradley Beal's going to be a bucket, but your defense gets worse. Your offense probably gets a little bit better, but a lot of mouths to feed now with Beal, Tatum, and Brown. I actually like the other trade better than this one. What do you guys think? Who wins this trade? Type BOS for Boston. Type WAS for Washington. I would probably hang on to what you have in this trade than go get Bradley Beal, although you wouldn't have to give up Jaylen Brown to do it, so that's not too bad. Let's explore this trade idea here on Boston Celtics Today by Chat Sports. I'm Harrison Graham. Bleacher Report cooked up several trades, including this one, and pretty simple, right? Anthony Davis to Boston, Jaylen Brown to Los Angeles. This trade blows. I mean, a year ago, year and a half, maybe when we were talking about a lot here on this show, you need front court, you need front court. Well, Rob Williams has emerged. You brought back Al Horford in that time, and your front court's actually in pretty good shape. And you know who's not? Anthony Davis. He gets hurt all of the time. 40 games played this year. 40 games played the year before, I believe. Sure, he's a great player. He would be your second best player on paper if you went out and traded for him after Jason Tatum. He can be a 25-10 guy, but his numbers have dipped since that championship 2 years ago. His health has certainly waned as he's missed a ton of games. I just think it's pretty clear at this point you're not breaking up the Jays. Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, these guys are in it for the long haul, I think. We kind of wondered that for a couple years. Can they be together long term? Well, they proved it this year with that second half surge and Ime Udoka getting the best out of these guys. Anthony Davis, to me, is not a guy I would pursue in Boston. He's injury prone, and even though he's still youngish, he looks like he's probably past his prime. I mean, he should be young enough to get back to peak form, but we haven't seen it in over 2 years now. That concerns me. Bigs with injuries concern me because they don't get healthier. If anything, the health worsens over their career. I'm not going after Anthony Davis if I'm Boston. I'm just not going to do it, and I'm definitely not doing it if I have to get rid of Jaylen Brown. He is established in this team, on this culture in Boston, so I would absolutely not do this trade if I was the Celtics. Would you do the trade? Type T for trade, type P for pass. I've been very clear, I think. I do not want to make this move, but let us know how you guys feel about this one. Hit that subscribe button here on Celtics Today. We haven't had as much time to dedicate to this channel because, I'll be honest, it's the way it works here at Chat Sports. The more subs, the more views we get, more comments, those channels take priority, and Celtics has been lacking in that area. So if you want more videos, subscribe, get the comment section flowing, and we'll try to crank it up as we get closer to the NBA Finals and the offseason. Game 3 of the Eastern Conference Finals is set for Saturday night, and I got 3 keys to victory here on Boston Celtics Today, so let's go ahead and go through them here. Key number one, keep winning the three-point battle. 20 for 40 from deep in Game 2 to win that game in blowout fashion, where I think Miami was 10 of 34. Yeah, you won the three-point battle by 30 points. I don't expect that wide of a gap every game, but if you're winning it by 2, 3, 4 3-pointers consistently night in and night out, that's going to bode well with how well Boston is playing defensively. Number 2, limit the Miami Heat's role players. Jimmy Butler is going to get his. Even in Game 2 where they got blown out, he had 29 points on 11 of 18 shooting. He is in the zone right now. He's going to average 30 in this series. I have no doubts about that. But if the role guys don't get going, Hero, Adebayo, and some of these guys are more than role players, but I just mean the secondary players, Oladipo, whoever it is. I mean, Max Strus was second in scoring with 14 points. Like, if that's the case, you're good. Like, the Heat do not want Max Strus being the second primary scorer in this series. That I can promise you. So I'm not saying just, hey, Jimmy, here's a wide open layup. What I am saying is he's going to get his, challenge him, but don't double him a lot. Don't let the other guys get off. If he's the only one who's scoring a lot of points, I think you're going to be in good shape. I think key number 3, and this was a huge key in Game 2, is take care of the ball. Under 10 turnovers. Only had 8. Miami had 14. Boston's going to be stingy defensively. Miami's a defensively strong team as well. Don't turn the ball over. I thought Marcus Smart played a really good game in Game 2, took care of the basketball. That needs to continue in this series because these are 2 teams that can really lock in defensively, so you have to be smart with the basketball. Even if you're not making shots, don't give them leak outs on turnovers and easy baskets. All right, who you got in game number 3? Type C for the Celtics, type H for the Heat. Let us know in the comments who you got in this Game 3. All right, if you made it to this point in the video, we actually have been doing a little bit of a challenge here at Chat Sports. One person on one of our other YouTube channels commented 53 separate times. I think it was our Tennessee Titans NFL channel. He said, tighten up on 53 different occasions. Can you top that? Can you top it, Celtics fans? Can you say just Celtics 53 times or more from one of you guys? I don't know. I told producer Jack I wasn't a believer. I didn't think you guys could do it. So that's my challenge to you. Can one of you set the record here at Chat Sports and comment 54 times or more? Let's see, and we'll see you next time here on Celtics Today.